Well,
Maybe
I was
there's
just I brought
something
this up
different.
in chat. I don't know if do I got background noise now or is it gone?
It's okay. It's okay. When you're not talking, then you just mute.
Okay.
We'll be all right.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so I brought this up in chat, like why did the Ukrainians attack now? And I was just curious to hear everybody's thoughts on this. Is maybe because they in their mind they're kind of forced to, that the Russians would just attribute them just through artillery bombardment and keep hitting their ammo depots. And maybe it was like, look, we got to go now and just hope for the best, because if we delay it, like, time is not on our side. So because more and more Russian troops are coming online that are better trained, and maybe the mood, maybe the internal dialogue that's going on between Ukraine and their NATO partners is starting to sour. And maybe it's because they said, look, we got to go in what we have and hope maybe we can exploit a breach, because if we're not winning the way it's going now, so we have no choice. So I would be curious, do you think there's any validity to that argument?
Well, I would just say, which is quite interesting what JS just said, is that even after the beginning of the counteroffensive or offensive, whatever you want to call it, the Russians have been attacking many objectives all over Ukraine. They didn't stop. They keep doing it. They could have concentrated on the front lines, not wasting missiles, rockets anywhere in Ukraine. They're still doing it all over Ukraine, not concentrating on the front line.
May I suggest something different? Okay, so I think that in the long term, Ukraine is winning because of this attack. And that's why, because if you get it from the perspective of the political goal, I think we can agree that Russia more or less needs to make the whole area of Ukraine neutral or a friendly state or states. But by making this so-called counter-offensive, it's a good excuse for Ukraine and for the US especially to propose peace, which is something that it's against the strategy of Russia, because it's in the best interest of Russia to keep this conflict and slowly grind, and if this continues, they will not only achieve a political change in Ukraine, they might achieve a political change in Europe and in USA. But if we have peace now, Biden may stay in power, and these governments in Europe might stay in power, and after 10 years, maybe we will have, the same story of Ukraine trying to take back these territories. So I see this failed counteroffensive as an excuse to make a peace deal now, that if Russians deny to accept this peace deal, they will damage their image. They will.
So you mean like a political victory, not necessarily a
The
military
problem
one.
is the dam.
There's
no incentive for Russia to negotiate with Ukraine. There's absolutely no reason for them to stop. I mean, Ukraine has crossed so many lines and pushed so many buttons.
He's going further. He's saying that because the situation is so unstable, that the West will ask for a peace deal. And where I see it a bit strange is about, if the Ukrainians destroy the dam, the whole world that's non-aligned will go out and say Ukraine is the evil place. So there is here. He's very. You are very right, so Captain. But there is a problem: the dam, and the dam you can't never get out of it. We can go back to the war, but this is a great political statement.
I just don't think Russia has any incentive to negotiate except a peace deal or anything. I mean, because they want what they want, and the way they're doing things is working out just fine for them.
Russia just doesn't care, guys.
I think that's his point. They're starting to shift the narrative towards, look, we're looking at the time when Russia's starting to rev up. They're starting to set the narrative that they're the ones looking for a peace deal, and the Russians are not looking for peace. They're trying to shift it on the Russians that way. I'm starting to see that in the